My name is Aoife Mannion and I play for Manchester United Women in the Women's Super League, and I'm currently rehabbing a back-to-back ACL injury. Before I had an ACL injury, my career pretty much sort of went on quite a predictable path upwards. And so for me, football kind of just gets better and better until you retire. And obviously the ACL injury was like an abrupt end to that narrative. And so I think there's two sides of it. There's the sheer intense roller coaster of emotions on one hand, and also the kind of abrupt departure from being like a footballer in a sense of the routine that we're used to. As a professional footballer, that is literally what we live and breathe. And of course that's a great privilege and something that we all love to do. But when that stops through injury, it's like a massive kind of shape-shifting moment. And so the adjustment period after that can be really, really hard. And so this is my second ACL injury now. And from that respect, it's been a little bit easier the second time round, because that kind of, new life almost from having a long-term injury the first time round, I've kind of been able to draw on that. So I don't think I've kind of suffered as much in that respect. I think it's so important to create that conversation around mental health, the things that trigger you during injury specifically, because the conversation just reduces suffering. This is something I feel really passionate about. And from having this injury twice, what I've realised is that a lot of my feelings towards the injury are very subjective. How can it be that I have, in theory, the same injury twice, but yet I feel different the second time round? And so maybe if I'd known some of the things, or perhaps there'd been more of a conversation before, I might have been able to, not have to go through one injury to take the good bits. So for me, that's why it's really important for me to talk about my experiences and share them, so maybe someone else can get the learning without having to kind of fork out a year of, a rehabilitation before they feel it. Definitely FIFPRO have created a space for me to share my experiences. I'm part of the mental health Taskforce. There's several players on that Taskforce, and we come to the conversation of mental health from different lenses. I think it's massively important that organisations like FIFPRO support players in raising awareness and potentially, being activists for change. And I think that the simple reason for that is that there's power in numbers. And so my one experience might be one thing, but actually if I'm able to feel emboldened by the fact that other people are having the exact same experience, that might help me just put my head up and actually speak about it a bit more.